This is the Marshall Center Activity Report for February 2010. I'm Jason Tudor. The Marshall Center's Seminar on Transatlantic Civil Security saw 42 participants from 29 countries February 1st through 23rd, including 2 Marshall Center alumni. This was the third iteration of the program, according to organizers. The course capitalized on both stakeholder interests and professional development needs. It featured guest speakers from 8 countries. Participants represented 22 different agencies with a mix of 16 military and 26 civilians. 5 members of the Polish land forces attended the Partner Language Training Center Europe's Mission-Related English for Operational Mentor and Liaison Teams workshop February 23rd through March 5th. The 2-week workshop is designed to help participants learn, activate, and utilize specific terminology for military radio communication skills and military planning format procedures. It also helps with face-to-face conversations with Afghan National Army commanders and interpreters. Previous workshops were followed up with site visits to Phase 2 omelet training at Joint Multinational Readiness Training Center Hohenfels. Based on the visits, instructors found workshop objectives were on target for participant needs. The Partner Language Training Center also conducted a language testing seminar February 8th through 19th for NATO and Partnership for Peace language teaching professionals. The 2-week graduate-level seminar allowed participants to practice developing test items based on NATO guidelines. The Language Center has sponsored the seminar since the fall of 2000. The seminar is offered 3 times a year. More than 60 interministerial security professionals gathered at the Army House in Sarajevo February 22nd to discuss NATO membership responsibilities. The alumni event brought together high-level officials to discuss NATO accession, a very important ongoing topic to the country, and its future stability. Alumni expressed disappointment that Bosnia-Herzegovina did not receive Membership Action Plan status last December. Attendees categorized the discussion as both pertinent and important, and added that members will be redoubling efforts to address the outstanding issues necessary to fulfill the criteria for plan status. The topic of regional border management and security brought more than 70 participants to a conference in Almaty, Kazakhstan, February 9th through 11th. The conference provided a venue for regional states to discuss transnational issues, best practices with their neighbors, and more. Participants came from Afghanistan, Kazakhstan, Kyrgyzstan, Mongolia, Tajikistan, Turkmenistan, and the United States. The event included 2 Marshall Center alumni. The Partnership for Peace Consortium Security Sector Reform Working Group sponsored a workshop on gender and SSR in Geneva, Switzerland, February 17th through 19th. The event was led by the Geneva Center for the Democratic Control of Armed Forces. The target audience included practitioners, researchers, and policy advisors from NATO and PFP countries. 37 experts attended from Armenia, Azerbaijan, Belgium, Bosnia-Herzegovina, Georgia, Germany, Hungary, the Netherlands, Norway, Serbia, Spain, Switzerland, Ukraine, United Kingdom, and United States. In publications and media, Dr. Matt Rhodes and Dr. Dragan Lazančić co-wrote Balkans 2010, Between Panic and Passivity for the 2nd issue of Per Concordium. Army Lieutenant Colonel Paul Yingling published The Founder's Wisdom in Armed Forces Journal. Colonel Yingling also gave interviews to the New York Times At War blog and the Veterans of Foreign Wars National Defense radio program. He also interviewed with Military Officer magazine for an April article on the effects of deployment on military families. Finally, Colonel Yingling advised the International Security Assistance Force Afghanistan on the development of the Afghan National Army. Dr. Sabine Kolmer was selected to become a member of the editorial council of the journal Bilten Slovensky Vojski, the official journal of the Slovene Armed Forces. Dr. Cheryl Cross's article entitled Contemporary Sino-Russian Strategic Partnership, Challenges and Opportunities for the 21st Century, co-authored with a professor from the U.S. Air Force Academy, was accepted for publication in the forthcoming issue of Asian Security. In other news of Marshall Center staff outreach, Professor John Krindler delivered 2 lectures and participated in events at the Geneva Center for Security Policy February 1st and 2nd. He addressed NATO's new strategic concept and addressed future perspectives for NATO's partnerships, as well as other issues. Professor Krindler also attended a speaker's lunch February 18th, where he discussed Turkish views on NATO's nuclear policy and theater nuclear weapons. He also discussed OSCE developments and the Russian proposal for a European security treaty. Retired Major General Philippe Semer participated in a conference on missile defense February 18th and 19th, organized and moderated by the University of Innsbruck at the Diplomatic Academy of Vienna. February was also a busy month for lecturers, speakers, and visitors to the Marshall Center. Let me run those down for you. Chuck Kozak, Office of the Secretary of Defense, visited February 2nd. Peter MacKay, Canada's Minister of National Defense, and Rear Admiral Charles Michel, Director of Governmental and Public Affairs, U.S. Coast Guard Headquarters, visited February 8th. Simon Strickland from the Cabinet Office, United Kingdom, visited February 11th. Sarah Nagelman, Special Advisor to the Supreme Allied Commander Europe, Interpol Secretary General Ronald Noble, and Gunther Bretschneider of NATO Headquarters visited February 12th. David Oman, King's College London, and Conrad Tribble of U.S. Consul General Munich visited February 16th. Journalists Brooks Tyner and John Toker, Director of Counterterrorism Communications for the Cabinet Office, United Kingdom, visited February 18th. Jean-François Claire, former Deputy Director, Direction de la Surveillance du Territoire, Fresnes, France, visited February 19th. Admiral Eric Olson, Commander Special Operations Command, visited February 22nd and 23rd. Dr. Sajan Gohel, Director for International Security Asia Pacific Foundation, London, visited February 23rd. Don't forget, Per Concordia magazine is now available through our public website as a downloadable PDF. Our Facebook fan page is almost near 1,000 fans, and if you'd like to be part of that, visit the page today on Facebook. Just look up George C. Marshall European Center and you'll find us. Finally, don't forget about our new iPhone application that allows you to keep up with all things Marshall Center even while you're on the go. And that wraps up the Marshall Center Activity Report for February 2010. I'm Jason Tudor.